Hello, welcome to the show. This is East Tennessee Music Scene on the Rise. I am here with Zack Miles, one of our local talented individuals in this East Tennessee region. He's come in to talk to us a little bit about his music and what he's doing out in the world, where he's toured, all sorts of things, all things Zack Miles. So we'll start out with letting him tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. Well, my name is Zack Miles, as you said. I grew up playing bluegrass music, and then later on got a hold of a Mexican Strat and took off playing rock and roll for a while. And then kind of settled back into folk music a few years ago. Started writing my own songs and playing with some good friends here around town, and really getting back into music. And it's been great.
So are you mostly an individual artist, a solo, or do you work together with the band frequently?
As Zack Miles is the song that I've played. I play primarily solo, and here around town I'll play with a few friends outside of the songs that I write.
Okay.
I play guitar for my good friends Handsome and the Humbles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know those guys.
They're great guys.
They seem pretty cool.
Yeah.
I saw them coming out of the radio station, 94.3, before it turned to what it is now.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever Josh was doing the local show.
Yeah.
I met them whenever I went in there after they came out.
Yeah. Yeah. Josh and I are great friends. He's a good guy.
Actually, I know his sister.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Casey. Yeah.
She cast me on a was it Snapped Killer Couples? But anyway,
nice.
We'll get back to you now.
Yeah, we'll get back to it. Yeah. But I started out playing 5-string banjo, and with these songs that I've been writing in the past few years, I've been trying to get that style over onto the guitar a little bit more. Kind of like classical meets 5-string banjo meets like just regular finger picking folk style.
Okay.
And I've been having a lot of fun with that.
So you're kind of a mixture of different genre specific, not one specific genre, but all mixed into one.
I try to be. I try to be very aware that it's just me and one guitar. I try to get as much as I can out of that. Trying to get a really full sound with different styles, different techniques to keep the bottom in the sound, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, number one is just being aware that it's just one guitar. Just try to write songs around that.
So have you played a lot of places around the area, or even out of state anywhere?
Yeah, definitely. I've been playing around Knoxville for about 3 years now, and I've followed Handsome and the Humbles around opening for those guys a little bit, and I've done some small tours by myself, some small tours with the guys, and it's been fun. Let's see, but as far as solo, I've been as far as Abington, Virginia, a few places south. I've played Georgia a couple of times. I've branched out into the southeast a few times in the past couple of years.
That's pretty cool.
And I've been writing a lot of new music, and I've been primarily playing locally just around Knoxville. But after I get this music out, I want to go back. I want to go back at it.
Get out there all across the nation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Have you played here at the Open Chord?
Yeah. I played here about 2 years ago. Yeah, I played here about 2 years ago. Okay. And then again about a year later at one of the Tuesday night songwriter nights that Kip Brown did for a couple of summers, I believe.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you've got some experience up here on this stage that the Open Chord has let us use for this show. And we appreciate them very much for this.
Yes, thank you.
The opportunity to showcase individual solo artists and bands alike. And hopefully we'll see you out in band form or solo form somewhere around the Knoxville area very soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Anything coming up in the next 6 to 8 months?
Yeah, definitely.
So let's talk about some of the favorite spots that you visited, that you played, and you've had the most response from. Can you talk a little bit about those?
I think I've had the most response. I used to play a regular gig at a place called Sugar Mama's.
And where is that?
It was in on the 100 block of Gay Street.
Okay.
They just recently shut down, but my good friend Mike McConnell, he's teamed up with Hexagon Brewing. They've kind of combined businesses, so he's still doing well. But Sugar Mama's was a tiny bar/bakery, and it was amazing. I would just set up one speaker in there and just play for a couple hours at a time. Cool. And had a really great time. We would open the door so hopefully people out on the street could hear it and come in. But yeah, I had a really good time playing there. Some other places, I really like playing at Last Days of Autumn
Okay.
in Knoxville too. It's pretty close. It's on Magnolia, and I really like the vibe in there.
Oh yeah.
I like the outdoor stage, and I've played in there a couple of times in the winter inside, and I just I like being close to people
Oh yeah.
more than I used to. It used to terrify me, but I like really small rooms lately, and
Kind of intimate settings where you can connect with the audience a little bit better than being up high on a stage and looking out on people.
absolutely, I like that. And to go in line with that, house shows.
Oh yeah.
I love house shows for the same reason,
Cool.
and yeah, that's been a lot of fun. But yeah, like you said, the intimate atmosphere I prefer lately, definitely.
That's awesome. So you said some of your favorite places to go. Any places out of the area that you really have enjoyed playing, or ones that you want to go to? So maybe if somebody's watching this, they could bring you on a show.
I really like.
Shout out some cool places.
Yeah, let's shout out some cool places. Let's see. There was a bar on the Virginia Creeper Trail called the Damascus Brewery,
Okay.
and it was so much fun. And I would love to go back there. That place was amazing. It was like a bar on the Creeper Bike Trail,
Oh, nice.
and they've recently built a really nice outdoor stage. I saw photos online, so I would
Okay.
love to go back. I've played inside there a couple of times, solo and with Handsome and the Humbles, and it was fun both times. I think we've been there 3 times, but I'd love to go back there solo and
Cool.
play on the outdoor stage. Have them start a fire up out there and just have a good old time in the fall.
Nice.
I would love that.
So anybody in the Virginia area where this brewery is, let them know that you want to see him back. Zack Miles. Solo, band, everything.
Yeah, let's go back.
Anywhere else further out?
Further out, I have some very, very fond memories of the Acoustic Coffeehouse in Johnson City.
Okay.
I used to play there maybe once or twice a month. Unfortunately, the Way of Sugar Mamas, Jim, the owner, has closed the bar due to some issues with the city, noise ordinances,
Oh.
and things like that. They had a really good run. It was an amazing place, and he's since moved away from Johnson City, from what I hear. But I have some very fond memories of that place, of playing indoors and outdoors on the back patio. It's a very intimate atmosphere, and all of the people there that you see, they're all wonderful characters. They're very memorable people, and they're so nice. Like, I've never felt more welcome at a venue than the
great.
Acoustic Coffeehouse. It's a great place.
It's always a good feeling to connect with the audience that you have in front of you. I mean, I don't know that for a fact because I'm not a musician. I'm supportive of the music scene and all the great talent we have here. But I'm just taking it from an outsider's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Being on stage and connecting with your audience would be one of the greatest feelings in the world to me.
Yeah, I love it.
That's awesome. So your music, as you said, is kind of multi-genre-ish. Can you describe sort of how you go about making this music? Like, what is your writing process? Do you draw from personal experience or from the world around you? Dare say it, politics or anything like that? Hopefully not.
Yeah, definitely not. Definitely, I have no political songs.
Okay.
I guess we wouldn't rule it out, but I don't have any. I like to spend a lot of time outside.
Okay.
I love mountain biking and hiking, backpacking, anything like that, really. Like, I love getting out, like way out. I love blocking off days at a time if possible, and just getting out in the woods and having fun.
Oh, nice.
Doing anything. And when I write songs, I generally take from personal experience, but I just kind of write poetry about it and kind of expand it from there. So you can kind of embellish it a little bit in any way you want. And I fill up pages with just poetry and lyrics.
Okay.
And then I take them back home and kind of cram them into songs.
Oh, nice.
Like, so it's almost like 2 separate writing sessions where one's writing the lyrics themselves and then coming home and getting the right guitar parts. And then once you write these guitar parts, you have this huge bank of lyrics to kind of fit in there.
Okay.
So that's how I do it.
I myself, I write poetry, but I've never been able to translate it into a song because I'm not a musician. I can't play a guitar for anything. But I try.
Yeah.
So you've told us about people you've played with and where you've played. What are some of your aspirations? What do you want to do with your music? How far do you want to reach?
Ooh. Well, I would love to be able to tour and make a solid living off of it, as most musicians would.
From coast to coast?
Coast to coast. Yeah. A lot of musicians I look up to, all the places I see them play and everything, I guess I would like to kind of go in line with that.
Kind of follow in the footsteps.
Yeah, exactly. I would like to be able to write music like this and make it doing that.
Nice.
I know that's a pretty simple response, but yeah, I'd like to be able to make it, just making the songs I get to write, being out in the woods and things like that.
Yeah. Well, you talked just a little bit about your influences as to who you want to follow in the footsteps of. Mm-hmm. Mention some of those. Who are some people that you're interested in following in the footsteps of?
Oh, nice. I get to name all my favorite bands now. It's
could be bands or solo.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
I really love a group. Love the group called Mimicking Birds.
Okay.
They're one of my favorites. I believe they're out of Washington State, and I have listened to their 3 albums over and over and over. I love their lyrics, and their first album was a similar style to what I play, like fingerpicking, classical guitar.
Okay.
Over just like poetry almost.
Nice.
And it's I like it a lot, and it got me into it. And the next 2 albums were full electric, and they just kind of expanded on that same style. A couple of guitar players they're 2 solo guys that I really love, and that I've spent a lot of time watching videos of them to kind of improve my guitar technique. Ben Howard is one guy. I love his guitar style. And another, I can't remember his name, but he goes by the tallest man on earth.
Really?
Yeah, that's his band name. He's been touring recently with the band, but he has a few solo albums, and his guitar style is my favorite in the world. Okay. It's just a really fast, almost banjo style finger picking pattern on an acoustic guitar, and then the classics. I love to watch Chet Atkins videos.
Okay.
Learn a lot from Chet. I started out watching Chet videos and kind of took off from there when I started finger picking. Okay.
Now, finger picking isn't what people would normally play guitar with, but it kind of has a different sound to it whenever you're finger picking. Is
right. There's a lot of folk musicians will use finger picking styles, but I had kind of translated it from playing 5-string banjo. Okay. For a long time. That's what I grew up around a lot of people that played bluegrass music. Yeah. And when you're growing up in situations like that in a small town, it seems to be universal that in any group of players, you'll have a few banjos, a few mandolins, and a ton of guitars. Oh yeah. Like when everyone gets together to jam, there's always too many guitars. And I picked up the banjo because of that. Okay. And then once I moved away from home. And I picked up guitar again, acoustic guitar again after that, and just kind of translated it. That's how this whole style came about. Nice. It's just I had the opportunity. Everyone wants to be the guitar player, and I jumped back on it.
Yeah, there you go. Well, we know some bands out of Kentucky that might be interested in bringing you up there.
Oh, nice.
They played a variety of different music from the bands that we've had on stage from Kentucky, like Brandon Folsom.
Oh, I know Brandon Folsom.
We've had him on the show for Hillbilly Jed, or J-E-D.
I'm not sure on that one.
Those guys are pretty cool. They came down here from, was it Middlesboro?
Something like that.
That's what, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Something in that arena. But those guys are awesome. We like different genre and different ways of playing and showing your talents. Showcase that all day long if we could.
Yeah.
So, are there any places online that people can get a hold of you? Like, you have a Facebook page.
Absolutely.
And do you have an email address that they can book you, or do you have an agent or manager?
I I've been completely do-it-yourself.
Okay.
From the start. I have a website that people can go to that you can find all of the social media and all the music I've recorded and everything is on. You can find it on zackmilesmusic.com. That's ZACK.
ZACKmilesmusic.com.
That's it.
Check it out.
Check it out. And I've got my latest album up on Spotify and all the places, and then just lots of old demos just piled into a Bandcamp account that you guys can go check out.
Okay.
And I try to put everything that I record up in some form or fashion.
So you have one album out?
Mm-hmm.
How many songs are on there?
There's 10 songs on that, 11 songs on that album.
Can people get a hold of that through your website?
Absolutely.
Order it online and have you ship it to them or anything
Yes,
like that?
absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah. And you can find links to physical copies or all the digital platforms.
Oh, nice.
It's all there.
Everything is available on his website. Check him out. He's been great having him on. We're about to hear one of his songs, though. So let's talk a little bit about that before we go into the song. So what's the song name, and how did you come about bringing that to the stage?
That song, I finished recording it about a week ago. Well, a week ago from our recording right now. But it's a song's called "I Know It's Hot," and it's just a really short poem note that I wrote down this past summer. This has been a very hot summer.
Oh, yeah.
And just sitting out camping for a couple of days, and spending pretty much your midday sitting pretty still, just hanging out, waiting for it to cool off a little bit before we keep moving.
Yeah.
And I just wrote, it's maybe just 5 or 6 lines, and I just try to write poetry even about just simple things.
Yeah.
So it's the song's called "I Know It's Hot," and we'll remember this fondly years from now. How it's kind of miserable in the moment, but you think about it years later, it's like that was a pretty good time.
It kind of has a double meaning. So I mean, it's weather related, but it's also can be life related too.
Yeah. I try to like I said before, I try to embellish just what would normally be, I guess, boring. Boring's not the word, but something more mundane. I try to embellish it and get something out of it with everything that I write. Like I'm not just going to sing a journal entry of some sort, about just like how hot it was. So, but yeah, it's pretty much a song about making the best out of what we had. We were just on mountain bikes and just running around the woods for a couple of days, like riding during the day and stopping in the evening and camping and eating and keep going. Yeah. And we just made the best out of it and had fun. And it's pretty easy to complain about the heat, but you make the best of it. Yeah. Then I just love writing poetry about things like that, even if it's something small.
Well, hey, you're relating your songs to real life out in the world, so that's a good thing. People can connect to that more than if you're just writing about something random, like, hey, I see a pencil on the table.
Right.
That's kind of an odd thing to write about. We don't want to do that.
I get it, but it's the same idea.
Yeah.
You get the most out of a little sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we want to see you on stage anywhere we can get you out to. So if anybody is watching this, check him out, zackmilesmusic.com.
Yes.
Almost forgot that. Check him out. See everything you can on him. Bring him to your towns, your venues, everywhere across the nation. I see we're a little bit out of time. So we are getting ready to hear him play on stage. So look forward to that. And we will see you next time.
Hey guys, my name is Zack Miles. The song is called "I Know It's Hot." I know it's hard, but we're gonna remember this fondly years from now. And you come across the creek and find the spot where we pushed the dead tree down across years ago. But it seems that no matter how much sleep I get, I always seem to feel the same. No matter how much sleep I get, I always seem to feel the same. So I'll wait for the daylight, for my friends to wake up. Oh, I'll wait for the daylight and just stick to the plan. Maybe this year we'll get just one Halloween that doesn't feel like the middle of June. And it seems that no matter how much sleep I get, oh, I always seem to feel the same. No matter how much sleep I get, well, I always seem to feel the same. So I'll wait for the daylight, for my friends to wake up. Oh, I'll wait for the daylight and just stick to the plan. Maybe this year we'll get just one Halloween that doesn't feel like the middle of June.